My girlfriend is being forced to marry someone she doesn't want to. How can I help her? I, 26M, was with this girl, M, 25F. We'd been together for more than a year, but she came from a very strict Indian family. She told me she was fortunate they even let her work, and that they'd be entirely against her dating anyone, that they were set on arranging a marriage for her with a guy they selected. We met in college and ended up working at the same company. We slept together multiple times, something she said was a huge taboo, so she wanted to keep it discreet, and I respected that. Then, 8 months ago, completely out of nowhere, I received a message from her. It said we were over and she didn't want me to reach out again. We hadn't argued or anything. Actually, we just had a really sweet dinner the night before. I tried calling her many times, sent messages, everything. I even considered going to her place to talk, but backed off because of her family. I reached out to a couple of her friends too, but they said she'd ghosted them as well. I was heartbroken, and after 2 months, I decided to get back out there, but just couldn't find someone with that same spark. I had essentially given up on dating and started focusing on my career, and I recently even landed a very high-paying job. I was happy, yet lonely. 3 days ago, I got a message from one of her friends. She said M was at her place and had been there for nearly a week, and she was asking to meet me. I was hesitant and asked her if she was playing a cruel joke on me after the way we broke up. To my surprise, the friend broke down crying and said she couldn't explain over the phone. I went there, and sure enough, M was sitting there. She looked thinner, a bit paler, and very, very sad. She saw me, started crying, hugged me, and then we sat down to talk. She said her family had seen us together, and when she went home that night, she was yelled at. She lives in a big joint family, so her parents, grandmom, 3 uncles and aunts, and about 13 cousins live under the same roof. She said they took away her phone and prevented her from going to work or contacting anyone. They said they pressured her into telling them how far our relationship had gone, and when it was revealed that she wasn't a virgin, her family went berserk. They moved her to their rural village and arranged her marriage with a family friend who was 60 to 65, and when she tried to refuse, they threatened to kill her. She said she played along for a month, and a week or so ago, the marriage date was set for September. She said she told her family she wanted to spend time with her to-be husband and managed to slip away, after which she took a train to get back here. I had moved to a larger house and wasn't on any social media, so she didn't know where I was and went to her friend. She stayed there for a few days, resting and crying, worried her family would find her before asking to meet me. I have no idea what to do here and how to proceed. I love her and I'm willing to be there for her, but I have absolutely no idea how. What legal steps can we take? Comments. Kudos for being there for her. I kind of feel like the two of you should go to the cops to report what happened. If nothing else, it could serve as a paper trail should they try to do something legal against her. Original poster, OP. Unfortunately, cops aren't an option. Her family has connections with a very high-ranking officer, and if we so much as step into a police station together, her family will get wind of our exact location, which is not something we can afford right now. This happened to a friend of mine years back. She was born here in the US, but her parents were from India. When her uncle came to visit, he had a fit about her having a boyfriend. Next thing we knew, she stopped showing up for work, deleted her social media, and was married to some older dude. Nobody was physically harmed, but the damage was done. What concerns me about your situation is how far the family may be allowed to go to get her back, depending on your location and culture. Oop, that's what was about to happen to her, but she actually managed to slip away. Her family doesn't know where she is. As for being allowed to get her back, I've asked about that on a legal advice sub, and they can't take her anywhere against her will, but in case they try something like declaring her not of sound mind, we are planning to get married as quickly as possible, so even if she gets declared not of sound mind for some reason, she'll stay with me and not go to them. Update. So a while ago, I made a post here asking for help because my girlfriend was being forced to marry someone she didn't want to. This is the update on that. We got married. We married in an Arya Samaj Mandir, which is just a way of saying we got married the fastest way possible legally. Got the marriage certificate and made the legal adjustments, changing details on passport, Aadhaar card, etc. She's seeing a therapist now and is mentally better. Isn't that scared now? Her family did find out and tried to lodge a case that I was holding her against her will or that she had been brainwashed by me, but an affidavit, thanks to Soysuk's fantastic advice, disproved all that. Her brother did send me some threats, and her dad actually tried to enter my house, but in the end, they had no choice but to accept it and left to go to their hometown. My wife and I blocked them on everything, and we haven't had any contact from them for a while now, so we don't think they'll be a problem anymore. Now that all the legal craziness and family drama has been dealt with, we're going to start adjusting as husband and wife. We're planning a proper wedding celebration with all our friends who are essentially our family. We'll also go on a honeymoon soon. I'm glad that things worked out as well as they could for us, and I'm looking forward to spending the rest of my life with a fantastic woman. I'd like to especially thank some people on here before ending the update. Soysooks for taking time out from his day to give me some fantastic legal advice. I'm looking for these comments. However, the advice may have been given via messages and not on the original post. posts. Pranabus for his great advice and suggestions. Secondhand Debra for listening to my ramblings and steering me in the right direction. Lastly, thank you to everyone who commented on my post. I read each one, and they were all helpful in some way. From original poster in the comments below, added at his request, OP here. I'm seeing all the comments telling me to move and that we're not safe. I agree, but moving will take some time, and we're here for the time being. I have put precautions in place though. My house has cameras, alarms, and motion sensors, and I've hired watchmen and guards to patrol the place 24/7 in shifts, so we're constantly protected. As for their connections in the police, they have connections. I have money, so I'm not too worried about that either. Thank you to everyone concerned for our well-being and for the well wishes moving forward. Update, logging out. Well guys, I'm done posting on here for now since things have settled down for the moment. There's still one major change we have to make in our lives, and if I remember this account, I'll make a final update after that's done. Thanks to everyone who commented on my posts for your wishes and advice. Stay good. Story 2. Ada for telling my girlfriend she is a bad mother for making her daughter pay rent. I'm 35 years old. I'm a Venezuelan. I came to the US about 8 years ago because of the dictatorship, hunger, inflation, etc. I landed in a community of Venezuelan expats and other Latin immigrants, so everything was different but felt a little like home. I did immigrant wage jobs for 3 years. I am an engineer and then got a great job opportunity in the Midwest, so I moved out immediately. It was challenging since there are not as many Latin Americans here, but things got way better. Now I even have my own office. During lockdown, I met Ashley. We started dating on the phone. We live in the same city, and after we could finally go out, started dating for real. She has a daughter, Susan, who is now a few months away from being 18. Susan is kind of shy with me, but we get along very well. After a while, Ashley asked me to move in with her, and I said yes. Recently, we were home, and I heard them talking in the living room. Ashley asked Susan to start paying rent the day she turns 18. Susan was angry because she doesn't earn that much with her part-time job. Ashley said that if she doesn't want to pay her rent, she can get out of the apartment and find her own place at market price. Then Susan started crying. Later, I talked with Ashley and asked why she was asking for rent. She just said, it's about time she starts paying. I was confused. In Latin America, that never happens. Not that I know of. People over 30 living with their parents contribute to the home, but don't pay rent. So I asked her again why she is charging her own daughter rent and giving an ultimatum. Ashley said, she must pay rent. She can't be a freeloader forever. But still, it's your daughter, not a stranger who broke into her home and changed the locks. It's her daughter. She didn't see my point of view. Her arguments were more like, just because. I told her she is a bad mother for being willing to kick her daughter to the street and treating her like a stranger. Ashley got in my face and told me, you don't know shit about this country. I paid rent to my parents until I moved out. Get used to it. You are just my boyfriend, not her stepdad. So shut the fuck up. Susan is my daughter, and I can do what I want with her. Sorry for the caps, but she was yelling loudly at this point. I never saw her like this. I guess everything she said is true, but this seems alien and bizarre to me. The next morning, she told me I had to sleep somewhere else because she didn't want to see my face, so I'm sleeping at my office. Susan called me to say she is sorry we had an argument because of her. Am I overstepping? Is this normal and expected in this country? Should I mind my own business and not say anything? Relevant comments. How much is Ashley charging Susan, and is Susan in school? Susan will be out of school this year. Ashley is asking a huge amount, barely like 30% less than market price. It's still not market price, but even so, the simple concept of charging rent to her own daughter sounds unreasonable to me, and almost at market price is crazy. Update. Buenas. So, the day after I made my post, Ashley asked me to move back in. She was crying, saying that she missed me and wanted me back, and apologized for kicking me out and being so mean to her. I went back in because I needed a shower, and my office has no shower, and also because I needed to have a real talk with her. After a few hours of awkwardly coexisting there, I sat both of them at the table to address the issue. I was honest with Ashley. I explained how I was raised, how things are in Latino America, how I lived with my family and even my siblings, partners, and little children until I got into the US. I understand contributing to the house, and I understand she is her daughter, but she sees her daughter as a financial burden, which makes me wonder about our future together. I want to try and have kids before I'm 40, because I would be 60 when they're 20, and I feel like I would be too old. I would not want to have a partner who treats a child like a stranger as soon as they turn 18. Ashley was crying, asking for forgiveness, saying she didn't want to lose me and that she will change. Susan was looking down the entire time, saying nothing. I asked Ashley if she was willing to change for me. She said yes, but then I asked, why would you change for me and not for your daughter? She was perplexed. I asked her if I am a priority to her, and she said yes. I asked her, I am only your boyfriend. How am I a priority to you and not your daughter? Ashley then said incoherent things, going back and forth between, sorry, you both are my priority. I love you, would do anything for you. I can't stand someone who doesn't have her daughter as her number one priority. She must have me in third place. First her daughter, second herself, and third me. I would rather be in fourth if she had any pet. What if I was an abusive person? Would she put me over her daughter? I told her we can't be together if she can't admit in front of her daughter that she is not her one priority. So I said I would find a new place, move out, and end the relationship. Ashley has said anything she can to fix it, but it's so contradictory that I can't believe anything she says. Susan spoke to me, told me it's painful to lose me, said I'm the only boyfriend of her mom who hasn't been a total jerk to her or her mom or an addict. I don't know what to do with Susan. Do I leave a door open if she needs help? I'll be leaving in a few days to an Airbnb while I find some place for myself. I can't live in my office forever. Thank you guys though. Get your thoughts together. I still don't know if this is normal or I just found a particularly bad mother. Give me some hope, please. Hi, that was my original update. Edit. OP tried to post the above to Ada, but it was rejected. Right now, I've moved out of Ashley's apartment and I'm at an Airbnb. Susan has been texting me. She is heartbroken and says she still wants me in her life because she doesn't trust her mother to find a better man than me. I'm unsure about maintaining a parental relationship with Susan, but I wish her the best and am willing to help if she needs it. I'm still very disappointed in Ashley for how much she has wronged her daughter. Edit. I never expected to be on this account again, but today I discovered that Mark Narrations read my story on his channel, and then I found out someone posted it here. Thank you Luciaria for sharing it, and Mark for reading it. Buenas. I'm OOP. First of all, I'm very touched by the comments both here and on Mark's video. I really appreciate it. I'm also very touched by all the people who said they would marry me, even straight guys, which is so funny. Sorry to break your hearts, but I'm not stable enough to start dating again. I found a place, but still have to wait to sign contracts and move in. It might take a while. Also, I have to emotionally recover from the situation. Hopefully, in a few months, if you live in a Midwest state, you might find me on some dating app, but I won't reveal my identity here or give anyone my number over Reddit. Oh, and all the names I use are fake, of course. I'm nowhere near being perfect. I just do what I think is right, and things go so much better when you are nice to others. These are the values I was raised on. My mom dated a man when I was a teenager. It started well, but then he became controlling and demanding. Once he hit my younger brother for misbehaving while our mom was out. When we told her, she got mad, hizo un verguero, and kicked him out of the house yelling, "Nadie toca a mis hijos," none dare to touch my kids. It was such a scandal that some neighbors came outside to see what was going on. She also taught us never to let other people treat us like trash or settle for less. I had to put it into practice often here in the US because many people tried to take advantage of me for being an immigrant. My sister became an equally fearless woman like my mom, and my brothers are also good men. I'm crying a bit while thinking about her because I miss her. She is still in Venezuela, and I want to hug her so much. ETA. Never mess with Venezuelan women. They know their self-worth and will drop you the moment they sense any disrespect. To address some common questions, Ashley herself has a good job and didn't need money from Susan. When I moved into their place, I asked Ashley if I could pay half of the rent, but she refused. Instead, I paid utilities. Unfortunately, I have some bad news. I had to cut contact with Susan because of Ashley. She sent me texts telling me to stop talking to Susan, or she would tell the police that I molested her and would get me deported. I panicked, never replied, and took screenshots. I spoke to a lawyer who told me to cut contact with Susan immediately. Other than that, Susan has no case or evidence, and I can use the screenshots against her if she tries something. I'm walking on eggshells. However, I created a secret email and sent a message to Susan so she can use it in case of emergencies. She sent me a long email that broke my heart. She apologized for a lot of things that weren't her fault at all and told me how much she wants me as a dad, even begged me to adopt her after she becomes an adult. I didn't reply. My heart is with her, but I can't do anything for now. I never had any legal troubles in my life, and now Ashley has a sword of Damocles hanging over me. I'm dealing with a lot on top of trying to finish a project. Susan is a young, smart, strong, and beautiful girl, and I think Ashley is holding her back in many ways, not letting her be herself or develop her potential. In the mail, Susan said her mom is constantly jealous of her, but didn't elaborate on that. I think that's where a lot of resentment might come from. I'm not sure. Thanks for reading about my struggles. Reading your comments has made my week. Have a good day, everyone. Story 3. Me, 31, M, wife, 36, F. Marriage has been horrible for the past year. Wife's sister recently moved in. We have a lot of fun together. Made me realize how unhappy I am in my marriage, and I want to divorce. My wife and I have been married for 3 years. Our marriage has been horrible for me in the last year. My wife is always angry, negative, lazy, and blames everything that goes slightly wrong in her life on somebody else except herself. I'm a very outgoing and motivated person and like to go out a lot. My wife is less outgoing, but used to always try to make an effort to go out together and have fun. For the past year, she hasn't done anything in our marriage. She is addicted to her phone and TikTok and barely pays attention when I'm talking or we are doing something. We barely go out anymore, and if we do, she always finds something to get angry at, like a waiter taking a little too long. When we are out eating, she is on her phone watching TikToks and barely communicating with me. She always wakes up moody and angry and destroys the whole vibe. She curses in every other sentence she says and huffs and puffs if she has to do something that normal grown adults have to. We have also not been intimate for the past 6 months, and it doesn't look like anything is going to change. I always tell her how much I appreciate her and that I love her and try to do things together, but she always shuts me down when I suggest doing something because she is tired, but then proceeds to watch Netflix until 2 a.m. She never shows any affection or appreciation towards me. For the past year, I have tried to communicate to her that something needs to change in our marriage, but she just gets angry and avoids the conversation instead of talking. It has gotten to the point that I have stopped caring about our marriage and have just been going along, focusing on my personal life and goals. My wife's sister Elle has recently gotten out of a long-term relationship and has moved in with us temporarily. Elle is the complete opposite of my wife. She is happy, vibrant, talkative, and just fun to be around. Ever since she moved in, we have been spending a lot of time together because my wife doesn't do anything other than watch Netflix and talk to her friends on FaceTime when she is home. On the rare occasion she is not doing one of these things, she is out with her friends. Elle is a very active person, so we do a lot of activities together. She joins me when I go to the park to get some fresh air, helps me cook when I'm preparing dinner, and even works out with me in my home gym. I always try to get my wife to join us, but she never does. Spending all this time with Elle has totally changed my mood. Being around a person who is positive and doesn't complain about every single thing in their life is so refreshing and fun. But don't get the wrong idea. We have never done anything inappropriate. We have just become really good friends that lift each other up. The past couple of months since Elle moved in have made me realize how unhappy I am in my marriage. Having someone around you who is constantly complaining, cursing, and angry drains every bit of energy you have. It's depressing, and that's not how I want my life to be. I want to be with someone positive who shows that they care about me and wants to have new experiences together with me. I have tried so hard for the past year to make my marriage work with my wife, but I just get shut down. I don't feel loved or appreciated anymore, and I don't want to be in this position anymore. I want to divorce so I can move on with my life and find someone who truly loves me and cares for me. I have officially checked out of my marriage and don't want to turn back anymore. I'm just not completely sure how I should handle the situation now. I know for a fact that I'm going to get trashed by friends and her family for leaving my wife, and that I'll somehow come out as the bad guy. I want this process to be as clean as possible, but I'm not sure how. Update. My first post got a lot of traction. I appreciate all the supportive messages I have received, and especially all the people sharing their own experiences. You definitely helped me gain some perspective on the matter. In the past couple of days, I have been able to clear my head about my marriage. I realized that this is not how I want to spend the rest of my life. I want to be with someone who cares about me and loves me. She clearly doesn't. I want to be with someone who respects me enough to put her phone down when we are having dinner and I'm trying to talk to her, and who isn't ignoring me to watch TikToks. I'm done trying and getting nothing in return. I am done giving it my all and getting nothing back. I have been trying to communicate and make things better for an entire year and have been completely neglected. I still have love for my wife, but I'm not in love with her anymore. I want to move on with my life, find the right one for me, and lead a happy life. I have already been in contact with my divorce attorney, and I'm getting the process started. I turned 32 2 days ago, and my wife didn't even acknowledge my existence. Instead, she went out with her friends that night. Even her sister remembered my birthday and got me a present. She was even shocked that my wife ignored my birthday like this. We ended up having dinner together at a restaurant, and she even paid for both of us. I didn't even feel the need to mention my birthday to my wife, because I knew that at this point, she didn't really care. This truly made me solidify my decision. I don't care if she is depressed or not. If she doesn't even care enough about me to remember and acknowledge my birthday and instead goes out with her friends, I don't want to be with her. People kept suggesting that we should go to counseling and therapy to sort things out. For the past year, I have been trying to get my wife to attend couples therapy with me, but she just refuses and gets angry with me, as always. I have tried everything I could think of to make my marriage work, but she pretty much rejects everything I try. I've tried so hard to make make my marriage work and put in so much effort, but now I have had enough of it. A lot of people tried to diagnose my wife with depression in my previous post, but I'm not a medical professional, so I can only speak from my perspective. To me, it seemed like she was living her own life without me, and that she would get frustrated with everything I became involved in. I'm not going to say if she has or doesn't have depression. That's not for me to determine. Whether she has it or not, I don't find that a valid excuse to treat me the way she has been for the past year. She didn't even have the respect to communicate and talk to me like a decent human being instead of being on her phone or ignoring me. If she has depression, she'll have to figure that out on her own without me. A lot of people were also suggesting that I just want a divorce to get with her sister. That's not true. I want a divorce so I can get myself out of this miserable marriage and move on with my life. I have no intention of pursuing her sister. I'm getting this divorce for my own well-being. Elle said that she finds the divorce unfortunate, but that she supports my decision. She even suggested that we stay friends afterward because we get along great. When I told her that I was divorcing her, some part of me hoped she would realize what had been happening over the past year and try to apologize, make things right again, or something. Instead, she started getting angry and yelling at me. As always, instead of taking responsibility, she blamed me. At this point, I stopped caring and didn't respond to all her yelling. I told her that my decision was final. I also suggested she see a medical professional to figure out her possible depression, but what she does with that advice is really none of my concern. Elle knew something was up and tried to talk with my wife about what was going on, but pretty much got dismissed and yelled at for getting her nose in our business. For now, I'll be sleeping on the couch and living my own life. Elle informed me that she is moving out and was able to find a place, so I'll be taking the guest bedroom when she leaves. I'm in the middle of trying to figure things out with my lawyer, and hopefully, we will be able to move quickly in this divorce, but probably not. I'm mentally preparing myself for everything that will happen to me socially, and I accept that. I just want this to be over so I can move on with my life.